Previously on Danganronpa Trigger Happy Havoc.
Well, in all the previous Genocide Jack cases, something else was used to suspend them. Specifically, pairs of razor-sharp scissors.
And guess what? I used my own specially designed scissors for the murders and the arrangement. Like I said,
How do you get that many pairs of custom
so naturally,
scissors?
I'm very picky about the tools I use. Da-da-da-da!
Why does she have those?
She's fully equipped!
That's right!
Is it the
So I can
killing
kill
game?
anywhere, anytime. Why would I resort to dumbbells or
I
rope
mean,
when
I guess
have
that's
my
a fair
trusty
answer.
Scissors by my side? Go
I can't
ahead,
even
tell
think
me
of a
I'm wrong,
rebuttal
you
for
can't
that.
ken, you gutter dogs, all of you.
The proof that
Not
she
bad
was
for
killed
winging it.
somewhere else is the poster that's hanging in each locker room.
Your proof is some posters?
The poster in the girls' locker room was a picture of a big-boobed supermodel. But don't you think that's kind of strange?
Why don't we take a little break from the trial? I'd like you all to come see something.
Oh.
Wait. Just what do you think you're doing?
Don't worry. This'll make the whole trial more exciting. I'm sure that thought must please you.
No, it's okay. I think Chihiro would rather have a girl examine her. So just leave this to me.
Sakura's eyes were staring widely at Chihiro's lifeless form. Her massive frame trembled.
This girl is
Is what?
a boy!
And
And-
there it is.
Boom goes the dynamite.
I see. So she was actually a he. Interesting.
Ahem. I do apologize for keeping you waiting. Now then, let's resume the class trial.
Here we
We've
go.
all just learned of the shocking revelation that Chihiro was actually a boy. Let's pick up from there.
Yes, well, I don't know his reason for hiding it, but the fact is, Chihiro was not a girl, but a boy.
To think that Chihiro was actually a guy. The thought had never even crossed my mind.
And because the victim was male, he would have had no problem gaining access to the boys' locker room.
Assuming his handbook did, in fact, list his gender as male, then yes, that would be true.
Of course his handbook said he was a boy. He dressed like a girl, but he was a boy through and through.
So then, there should be no issue with Makoto's initial assertion. The victim was killed in the boys' locker room, and was then later moved to the girls' locker room. And the killer could have easily used Sayaka or Junko's handbook to get into the girls' locker room.
That is very true.
Chihiro really was killed in the boys' locker room?
I still don't understand the motive for moving the body, but yes, that does seem plausible.
Well, I must admit, I did find it rather odd. I knew he felt a little off. There was a certain incongruity to his female body.
This is the most titillating
Nah, you didn't know shit,
situation.
dude.
So now everything has been connected. All the mysteries have finally become clear.
Okay, well, connected or clear or whatever. We still think you're the killer, remember?
Very interesting. This has become very interesting indeed.
Ah, he's off in his own little world.
What about you, Makoto? After everything we've learned, do you still think Byakuya's the killer?
Well, without a doubt, Byakuya is the one that made Chihiro's death look like Genocide Jack did it. But I think he might not actually be the killer after all.
What? But aren't you the one who accused him in the first place?
just seems to be too easygoing about all this. Like he's enjoying us solving the mystery.
He is,
The way
though.
he's acting, it makes it seem like it doesn't have anything to do with him.
And you think that might be because it doesn't have anything to do with him?
Plus, the evidence he left behind was a little too... how can I put it? Overt. He consciously chose to use the extension cord, knowing it could connect him to the murder. At least, that's how I see it. And Byakuya, when you found out the murder took place in the boys' locker room, it seemed to rattle you. And then again, when you found out Chihiro was actually a guy. If you really were the killer, that stuff wouldn't have had any effect on you.
So that's your thinking, huh? Well, it bothers me that you don't have more concrete reasons, but... it's fine. I guess I'll mark it as correct for the time being.
Mark it as correct?
He's right. I am not the culprit. I just happened to come across the corpse in the girls' locker room and decided to alter it.
Which, like,
Are you fucking with
Bruh.
us right now?
No, I am not effing with you right now. I'm telling you the truth.
Well, I find it very hard to believe.
Go ahead. Find it very hard to believe. You're free to be executed along with the rest of us.
If you're really telling the truth, then why? Why do you do that to his body?
My reasons hardly matter right now. Uncovering the culprit is much more important, wouldn't you say? Now then, if it wasn't me, who was it?
Well, I don't think I can say for sure without talking about it a little more.
We're seriously gonna keep going?
yeah, we got a little bit more to go
Aren't we?
over here.
I thought it was clear Byakuya did it.
No, I'm with Makoto. If there's any doubt whatsoever, we need to explore every possibility. Because if we're wrong, we all die here.
That's true. Very well then. I'm with you too.
Damn straight. Count me in.
Do you not have a mind of your own?
Of course I do. What am I, an ant or something?
Anyway, let's discuss this all as a group one more time. We still have time to make our decision.
That's very true.
Our lives are all on the line.
Excellent. Then shall we resume our game of hide and seek?
But if Byakuya didn't do it, then who's the real killer? Who murdered Chihiro? There's one thing we can be sure that we know about the killer. The killer was able to gain access to the real murder scene, which means...
Which means the killer is some side Jack. The killer is a girl.
The killer's a dude.
Is a guy.
Because, yeah.
I got it!
Alright. Since the crime scene was the boys' locker room, you would need a boys' handbook to get in. Since Leon's handbook is apparently broken, the killer would have had to use their own. In other words, it had to have been a guy. But that's still not enough. I need to find some more clues. We in fact have all the clues. We just gotta piece them together correctly. Celeste's account.
Celeste's account.
Fuck, what did she say?
Isn't
He
there
said
a
that
single clue
Chihiro
that
had
might
a
lead us to
blue
who did
tracksuit.
it?
That's it. Okay.
Clues are one thing.
Emphasis
but
on blue.
Did nobody get a look at the killer?
Oh, and she told us to nobody else.
I'm
besides
sure if
Makoto.
someone saw the killer, they would have said something by now.
Perhaps someone saw the victim at some point. Even that might be enough for now.
Yeah. All we need right now is any kind of new info.
That would be this. Oh, I missed it!
No, you had it. That's just wrong.
It didn't make the wrong noise, though.
Yeah, it did.
Come on, Makoto, don't scare me like that. Make me make me think something weird is going on. Oh, I did. Okay. Wait, then. Hold on.
Isn't there a single clue that might lead us to who did it?
Well, clues are one thing, but did nobody get a look at the killer?
I'm sure if someone saw the killer, they would have said something.
I would think it would be that one, though.
Perhaps someone saw the victim at some point. Even that might be enough for now.
Yeah. All we need right now is
Like,
any
is that
kind of
really
new
not
info.
it?
That would not be it.
It's over. It's all over. You want to know who saw the victim? The killer. And only the killer. And it's not like they're just gonna turn themselves in.
That
Game
one.
over, man. Game over.
Understood.
Yay! No! Not game over!
Okay. Not where I would have thought that would go, but okay, sure. No, as a matter of fact, there is an eyewitness account regarding Chihiro. She has more information about that.
Isn't there
Okay.
a single clue that might... Well, did nobody get...
I'm sure if someone saw the...
Perhaps someone saw the victim.
Yeah.
It's over. You want to know who saw the victim? The killer. And only the
No, that's wrong.
We got there in the end.
Yeah, you're good.
I believe someone else.
I'm just
did
gonna
see
take
the victim
I'm gonna take the
before he
wins
was
when we
murdered.
do get them. You
What
know.
do you think, Celeste?
Now that you mention it, yes, I did see him.
Huh? Really?
Oh, but I suppose only Makoto knows about this. The rest of you had no idea, did you? That is why you're all making such ugly noises.
Whatever! Just hurry up and tell us!
It
Girl.
was last night, right before nighttime. I saw Chihiro in the dormitory warehouse. I saw him stuffing a track jacket into a duffel bag. And then, I assume, he headed off to exercise.
A track jacket and a duffel bag? But we didn't find anything like that at the murder scene.
It seems likely that the culprit destroyed them to get rid of any evidence.
And that is when he said something that struck me as rather odd.
Here we go.
Well, I'd better get going. I'm kind of in a hurry.
Chihiro told me he was in a hurry. But why would he be in a hurry? Only if someone were waiting for him, I should think.
So, Mr. Fujisaki was on his way to meet with someone, and then they were going to work out together?
Correct.
But Hina and I had invited him to exercise with us plenty of times, and he always declined.
Probably because he was afraid you'd find out the secret he was hiding, right?
Which means that conversely, he must have trusted whoever he was meeting with very much. Enough so that he was willing to risk his secret being revealed.
What a marvelous friendship!
The point is, whoever he met up with is the culprit, right? So we just gotta figure out who it was.
But knowing what we know, I can't even guess.
No. You already have what you need to make the connection.
Huh?
You know who the killer is.
Seriously? Who is it? Who's the killer?
Think back to the track jacket and duffel bag the killer disposed of. Focus on the details of these items, and it should become obvious who was waiting for him.
Are you
Hang
sure
on.
about that? You really think we can figure out who did it based on 2 pieces of evidence that we don't have?
What? You want to track down some fingerprints or something?
Even if we had the equipment for that, we wouldn't know how to use it.
As was noted, the evidence is already gone. There's nothing to get fingerprints from.
That's true.
Maybe, but we can make certain inferences if we just take the time to talk it out.
Easy for you to say. But fine. Celeste, did you notice anything special about the bag or jacket? The bag was just a normal duffel bag from the warehouse. All the bags in there are the same, so I can't imagine what would make that one special.
Well, if I remember right, there was a decent variety of tracksuits to choose from. Do you think there might be some connection between the culprit and Chihiro's jacket?
Perhaps. Let's explore that and talk a bit more about the jacket he took.
Does Chihiro's track jacket really hold some clue about the killer? Somehow, it's really hard to believe. Alrighty. Celeste's account yet again. Is this one of those ones
First
where we have to
of all,
memorize?
We know where Chihiro was headed. He was on his way to go exercise. So
Oh, maybe
next
not.
we have to ask, why did he choose the specific tracksuit that he did?
What do you mean, the specific tracksuit?
I got it! He picked that tracksuit because it matched the one the culprit was wearing.
So, what you're saying is, the killer was wearing the same blue tracksuit as him? My tracksuit is black.
I don't even have a tracksuit. Cause exercising sucks.
I have a white tracksuit personally.
I think I know.
I got it from the warehouse, if you must know.
Did any of that really help us get any closer
I
to
think I
figuring
know.
out who the culprit is?
It did give you a clue
No way.
in the last
You
statement.
did.
not a chance.
You did.
You heard him,
You
right?
definitely did. That's
what
why
he
I'm
just
like,
said without even realizing
Yep.
it?
he gave himself away.
He did.
She's right. What he said just now really is really odd. How did he know something like that?
First of all, we know where Chihiro was.
He was on his way, so next week, why did he choose?
What do you mean, the specific?
I got it! It matched the one the culprit.
So, what you're saying, the killer was wearing the same blue tracksuit as him?
You gave yourself away, my guy.
Yep.
I'm sorry, dude.
Hold on a second, Mondo. What did you just say?
Huh? What'd I say?
He's a lovable
When
asshole,
Celeste testified a few minutes ago, she
but he gave
said-
himself away. I saw him stuffing a track jacket into a duffel bag. And then I assume he headed off to exercise.
She never said anything about the jacket's color. So why did you say Chihiro's blue tracksuit?
What are you? You just...
Hey, Celeste, what color was Chihiro's tracksuit?
As a matter of fact, it was blue.
Yeah.
And before we began the trial, did you tell anyone that?
The
Nope.
only one I told about any of this was you.
Indeed.
Then, Mondo, how did you know what color Chihiro's tracksuit was?
Because I just... I'm sure he saw the clothes at some point in the investigation.
No, because that would have already been
No,
gone.
that can't be it. The bag and clothes were surely disposed of by the time we began our investigation.
There would have been nothing to
Then
find.
the only reason he could have known what color the tracksuit was is if he saw Cherry with it before he died. That's the only possibility.
Cherry?
Are you talking about Chihiro? So, how about it? Did you see the tracksuit or didn't you?
Just by chance. I just happened to see it last night. He walked past me, and he was carrying the tracksuit in his hands.
But it was in the bag,
No,
though.
that can't be it either. According to Celeste's testimony,
She stuffed the jacket into her bag in a hurry. It was almost like she was trying to hide it. And just like that, she was gone.
when Celeste noticed it, Chihiro made a point of making sure the jacket was completely in the bag. If you just ran into him briefly, you couldn't possibly have seen what color the tracksuit was.
Yeah. He was hiding
It
it.
would appear you've dug your own grave.
I'm sorry, Mondo.
But you handed him the shovel, didn't you? That's why you said what you did. Focus on the tracksuit and it'll be obvious who he met with? What a bunch of nonsense.
Ah, now I understand. It was all one big bluff, wasn't it? Your true intention was to draw a slip of the tongue from the culprit. That's why you said you knew who did it, to put them on edge.
That's right. However, Mondo was my target all along. I had my suspicions about him from the very beginning.
But why? What made you so suspicious?
That's a good question.
Okay.
The way he talked, the way he was acting, because I hate him.
Sorry. That last one was obviously not it.
No, not that one.
So, I feel like if I didn't know about this ahead of time, I would have been thrown off by this. Because...
Yeah, fair enough.
Because, like, I know that, like, in Japan, like, the way people talk about other people is, like, a very, like, important part of the language. Whereas here, it's kind of less emphasized. So, like, if somebody uses a particular phrase to talk about a person, like, unless it's a insult or whatever, I'm not gonna pay it any mind. But I believe this is it.
There was a certain turning point that tipped me off. Maybe you didn't notice it, Mondo, but you tend to refer to men and women differently. You only call guys dude. For girls, it's chick. And after he was killed, you happened to refer to him as dude.
This is true, we did see that.
Once I picked up on that, it occurred to me that Mondo knew something we didn't.
You notice such a
And see, if that was me on my own, I wouldn't have picked up on that because I call everybody dude. So I wouldn't have thought.
No,
I wouldn't have
I'm
thought
not the
twice about
frightful
it.
one. Not nearly as frightful as someone capable of murdering a friend.
Mondo, was it really you? Did you really kill Chihiro?
I
He's
didn't
about to
kill
get sad.
anyone. You've been all over me, judging everything I say, putting words in my mouth.
We really haven't,
Gives
though.
you the right to treat me like a goddamn criminal.
Not until like the last couple seconds.
Yeah, he would never do something like that. This is a false accusation.
It's true. My reasoning on that is pretty shaky.
That was fast.
Well, this does present us with a problem. It seems we are all out of leads.
My time has nearly come. That's what my little ghost friend is telling me.
Oh yeah, that reminds me. Hifumi, weren't you telling me you'd found some evidence?
Really? What kind of evidence?
Intriguing.
Actually, you know, now that I'm thinking about it here calmly, it might not be all that relevant.
Jeez, did your confidence just get up and walk away? It's fine, man. Just tell us.
If you really insist, then, here it is.
What do you have there?
It happens to be an e-handbook. I found it laying on the ground, so I scooped it up.
Okay. You found it on the ground, right? Then it must belong to...
It's Chihiro's, it's mine, it's Mondo's.
Okay. Huh. I mean, it would either be Chihiro's or Mondo's. Would it be Mondo's?
It's Chihiro's.
Yeah. I'm not... Because I'm like, I feel like it could just as easily be either one of them, and I'm like... Alright.
I got it!
Fair enough.
We know Chihiro's handbook was missing from the scene of the crime, right?
For a fact.
For a fact indeed. I was totally sure I'd found it.
Then it must hold some clue about the culprit, right?
Well, that's what I was hoping. But it's busted. It won't even turn on.
I imagine the culprit broke it to get rid of any evidence after the murder.
That's odd. I didn't think the handbooks were quite so fragile.
They're not.
You're right. They're not. They're totally waterproof and shock resistant. It would take an awful lot to break one.
And yet, this one does appear to be broken, as is Leon's, sitting useless in the main hall. For all your confidence, that is a remarkably high failure rate.
Do you think there might be some kind of mystery in there somewhere?
It has one weak
How
point.
precisely did the handbooks get broken?
How did the handbook break? There's only one possible explanation.
By exploiting a bug, by hacking it, by hitting its weak point.
That would be that, because we've already established that doing the other two isn't going to do nothing.
Before that the handbook has one weak point, didn't you?
Yeah! You remember that?
Indeed.
Sure, maybe I let that slip, but I never told anyone what the weak point actually was.
But if the handbook is supposed to never break, and two of them broke in quick succession, then
we can only assume that someone's figured out its weakness. You know what the weakness is, right, Monokuma? So, what is it?
You're asking me?
Indeed.
I think it's a necessary piece of information if you want this to be a fair trial.
Let's go.
But if I tell you, and someone else decides to copy it, that would be very not good.
Just tell us already. Why would we want to break our own handbooks?
Oh well, I have a weakness for pushy demands. But you're sure you won't follow their example? Then allow me to make a special announcement. The weak point of my cutting-edge e-handbook is... When
There it
it's
is.
exposed to high temperatures for too long, it will suffer a meltdown and totally break!
I flippin' knew it!
You knew it?
Yeah, because I found the handbook laying on the floor of the sauna.
The
Intriguing.
temperature of the
I thought we
sauna
could
can
find
reach
it there.
over 200 degrees.
Got it. That makes
Strange how
sense.
You don't get burnt, huh? It's because as your sweat evaporates, it creates a cooling layer of air around your skin. If the hot air of the sauna were somehow pushed directly onto your skin, you'd definitely get fried. That layer of air would get blown away. That's why you may feel a burning when you move around. So when you're in a sauna, make sure to keep nice and still.
Interesting. I learned one new fact today.
That is a mere trifling speck of knowledge.
Anyway, If you found the victim's handbook in the sauna,
That almost felt like a jump cut.
then the killer must have been purposely trying to raise its temperature in order to break it.
Meaning the culprit somehow knew its weakness.
But how'd they find out? Monokuma said he didn't tell anyone, right?
Indeed. Quite the mystery.
I know
What if they
the
found out by
answer.
accident?
What do you mean by accident?
Okay, just tell me then.
What if the killer took their own handbook into the sauna, not knowing its weakness, and it broke? They'd realize it was broken, of course, and it wouldn't be hard to figure out why.
And 2 of them are broken.
And once they had Chihiro's handbook, they knew they had an easy way to dispose of it.
I won't say it's not possible, but who would have done something like that? I don't know of anyone who took their handbook into the sauna.
I might know someone who did.
Yep.
Whoa! Seriously?
I think the one who may have taken their handbook into the sauna was...
Okay. Who might have brought the handbook into the sauna? It had to be one who wore all their clothes into the sauna. It was... Really, the one time I go left?
Well, you made it.
We got there.
Here's my answer. Mondo, your handbook got broken in the sauna, didn't it?
What?
It did.
Why? Why do you keep accusing him?
Mondo
I'm
and
sorry,
Taka had
Taka.
an endurance contest in the sauna not too long ago, remember? And for the contest, Mondo just so happened to keep his school uniform on. But little did he realize, he'd also left his handbook in one of his uniform pockets. And when it was all over, Mondo discovered that taking your handbook into the sauna could easily destroy it.
No, wait, hold on. You've got it all wrong. He would never kill. I don't accept this. Show me the proof. The actual solid proof.
Okay. We're gonna get into one of those rhythm thingies with Taka, aren't we?
We are, yes.
I mean, I don't want to believe it either, but I found something that proves it beyond a shadow of a doubt. Alright. Another one. Oh! Broken E handbook, Chihiro's handbook, and card reader.
Let's test Makoto's assertion. If what he says is correct, then Mondo, you broke your own handbook.
In other words, if Mondo's handbook is actually broken, then that proves that what Makoto said is right.
Well, my goddamn handbook works just fine.
See? Look! Makoto was wrong after all! Mondo wouldn't hurt a fly!
Okay. Wait, so which one do I have to... Okay. I'm sure Mondo's handbook broke during their sauna showdown. If I can just prove that, then that will show that the handbook Mondo has must actually be...
Let's test Makoto's assertion. If what he says is correct, then Mondo, you broke your own handbook.
In other words, if Mondo's handbook is actually broken,
Oh, I see.
then that proves that what Makoto said is right.
Well, my goddamn handbook works just fine.
Oh, I fucked it up. Okay. It's not what I thought it was.
Shoot!
Okay, wait, so...
Let's test Makoto's assertion.
Hold on.
If what he says is correct, then Mondo, you broke your own handbook.
In other words, if Mondo's handbook is actually broken, then that
a little
proves
bit.
that what Makoto said is right.
You might have
Well, my
used the wrong
goddamn
truth
handbook
bullet.
works just fine.
See? Look! Makoto was wrong after all! Mondo wouldn't hurt a fly!
Okay.
Let's test Makoto's assertion. If what he says is correct,
You broke your own. In other words, if then that proves.
Well, my goddamn handbook works just fine.
Damn it.
See? Look! Makoto was wrong
Slow
after
shit
all.
down, me.
Mondo wouldn't hurt a fly!
Okay, it's fine. It's fine.
Let's test
We'll
if
get
what
there.
he said you broke your own. In other words, if Mondo's hand, then that proves that what Makoto said is right.
Well, my goddamn handbook works just fine.
No,
That's it.
There it is. Okay, I had the right idea,
Yeah.
and then I was too slow.
Mondo, the handbook you have right now.
All right.
Is it really
No,
yours?
it's fine.
The fuck is that supposed to mean?
The broken handbook that was in the main hall. Isn't that one actually yours?
Indeed.
What the heck are you talking about?
Well, he
What
swapped
I mean
them
is,
after his
I
road.
think Mondo swapped his handbook out for one that actually works.
Yeah.
I think he took Leon's handbook and replaced it with his own. After all, Monokuma said himself that Leon's handbook never should have broken.
And like that technically didn't violate the rules because he
That's
didn't do it on
right.
purpose.
The punishment it suffered wasn't nearly
I
enough
guess.
to destroy it.
So then, the broken handbook in the main hall is actually Mondo's, which would mean that the handbook Mondo has right now is actually Leon's, yes?
But doesn't that violate the school regulation that says loaning out your handbook is prohibited?
Nope.
Well, here's how I look at it. There is a rule about loaning your handbook to another student,
But
but
not
if
one
they're
about
dead,
borrowing.
they're not a student. It's kind
That's-
of a gray area, I admit. But no worries. If anything, it just makes things more interesting.
I guess it's one way of
Such,
looking
I
at it.
decree that exchanging handbooks with a corpse is not a violation of the rules.
Well, Mondo, if I'm wrong
Not the
about
rule
this,
violation I was
you're
thinking of,
welcome to
but
say
that also
so.
works.
I'm happy to admit I made a mistake, but
Son of a bitch. What's wrong, bro? Come on, tell him he's wrong. You are wrong. You have to be wrong. Everything you just said is wrong. You made it all up.
okay, then why don't we look back on this case one more time, from the beginning? That way, everything will become clear, and we'll all see if I was right or wrong.
Here we go. Oh, we're doing this now. Okay.
We're doing closing arguments now, and I do have my cheat sheet almost ready.
Awesome. Okay, well, I'm gonna try. And, okay, so we have Chihiro in the warehouse, stuffing the thing into his bag. One more time with feeling. Okay, here we go. Number one, we've got... Oh, they're in different order. Oh, I hate that.
Yeah, they always mix them up at the bottom there.
Oh, I hate that so much. Okay, tracksuit. Then this one. And then it was this one. Alright. Then we're at the murder weapon. Cool. Nailed that one. As a murder took place, some blood spattered onto something, didn't it? On a couple somethings, but yes. Where's that poster? It's over here. Okay. Then we got Chihiro on the ground. Okay, now we're back to the swapping. So was it this one where he's like moving them?
Not that one yet. It's the other one.
Okay, I thought you said I had it wrong last time.
I think it's that one that you're on, yeah.
Is this not what I had what I was gonna put last time? Alright, whatever. Which locker room did the killer move to? That is... Where the hell is it? There it is. Right. And then we have... this right here. The killer took something from the other locker room and switched it at the scene of the crime. Okay, so would that be the other poster?
Yeah, that's the other poster.
It's weird that they focus so much on that, to be honest. Okay. Then, okay, this is where Byakuya showed up. So that's where the extension cord goes, I believe. And then this is, what was this one? When Byakuya arrived on the scene, what did he use to disguise what happened? Right, the message. And then the killer went to the sauna. And then the handbook broke.
Okay.
Alright. Are we good?
I think so.
Alright. Well, let's figure it out, shall we?
Here's exactly what happened.
Please be right.
First, let's take a look back to before the incident.
I don't want to do it again.
Last night, Celeste saw Chihiro in the warehouse, correct? At the time,
Yeah.
she was apparently stuffing something into a duffel bag. That something was a blue tracksuit.
That
You can
tracks.
confirm this, right, Celeste?
Get it?
With bag in hand, Chihiro headed out, even though it was officially nighttime. She made her way to the locker room, specifically the boys' locker room. But how could the victim, who was apparently a girl, access the boys' locker room? Simple. Because
Hurrah!
she was really a he.
We're good so
which
far.
Which is why he was able to use his own e-handbook to gain entrance to the boys' locker room. Once inside, he met with someone there. And the person he met was the one who killed him.
Here we go. Oh?
Okay, so that is the one that I have marked here, probably.
Wait,
that
but...
we were confused about.
Okay. But it... So it says the weapon that... the killer used... What? How could it not be that?
Maybe this other one is actually a dumbbell? Yeah, it's hard to see what these things are.
What other one, though? There's literally no other dumbbell.
Okay, go to the left a bit. It's that one just to the right of you.
This one?
Yeah.
But how could that... I'm confused. Okay. Sure, I guess?
That's what my picture looks like.
Once
anyway.
inside, he met with someone there. And the person
That's really
he met
vague,
was
but
the one
okay.
who killed him.
Again, I like the idea of this. I don't love the execution.
It seems likely that the killer grabbed the nearby dumbbell, approached the unsuspecting Chihiro.
That is not a fucking dumbbell.
And attacked him.
That was not a I'm sorry, no.
And that's where the bloodstains on the poster and carpeting in the boys' locker room came from.
Okay, well, I mean, we're good so far.
It was likely in the heat of the moment. The body was arranged, but the murder itself felt unplanned. Which is why the killer hurried to try and hide the act. First, pulling up the bloodstained carpet. Then, removing the bloody poster. And finally carrying the corpse into the girls' locker room. A girl's handbook was necessary to get into the locker room, of course.
Correct.
But this alone doesn't prove that the killer was necessarily a girl. After all, Sayaka and Junko's handbooks had been placed in the main hall. Using one of those, a boy could get into the girls' locker room without much problem. And that's exactly how the killer did it. With the carpet and the poster they brought with them, they got to work. They changed the layout of the boys' and girls' locker room in what you might call a crime scene switch.
Did the old switcheroo.
That could have been the end of things, but no. Byakuya discovered the body and decided to intervene in the situation.
Like, why did he even go
things
over there?
even
Did he
more
hear something?
So,
Like, it seems
after
weird that he would just
stumbling
go
on the
there
crime
randomly.
scene, he went and grabbed the extension cord from the library, and then
Yeah,
he got
he just
to
wanted to
work.
cause trouble.
But there
He
specifically?
used the cord to string up Chihiro's lifeless body. Then, using the victim's own blood, he left a grisly message there at the scene of the crime. He wanted to create the illusion that Genocide Jack was responsible for the slaughter. And around the same time that Byakuya was putting together this facade,
So we had it mostly right then.
the killer, having already disposed of Chihiro's bag and other
I'll accept that.
belongings, arrived at the sauna.
Yeah.
I mean, not
It's
that we have
there,
not
they
that we have a
planned to
choice.
destroy the last piece of evidence, Chihiro's handbook.
And I am cheating by looking at my pictures.
I mean, it helps
And
because,
just as the killer expected,
like, that would have been a pain in the
steamy
ass
sauna
to
was
go through
enough to
trial and
ruin the
error.
electronic gadget.
It is, yeah.
Somehow, the killer knew that the handbook couldn't stand up to the heat of the sauna. And the reason they knew that is because the sauna had already wrecked their own handbook. And that's how it all played out.
I mean, I figured out some of it. It's just sometimes the pictures are
Isn't
really
that
vague,
right,
and I hate
Mono
that.
Arata?
Yeah.
I know you said they do it better in some of the other games, but like ARG.
Wait. No. This can't be right. Where's your evidence? Yeah. Where's your evidence? You need evidence. You need proof.
Next time on Danganronpa Trigger Happy Havoc, why would he do that? The more I hear you talk, the more I don't understand. I mean, you guys trusted each other, right? So why? Why did you...